The moment Sam Elliott stepped onto the brightly lit stage, the studio reacted the way it always did when a legend walked in, applause that carried respect more than excitement. His stride was slow, measured, boots tapping softly against the floor as if he were walking onto a different kind of set, one shaped by decades of grit, dust, and quiet authority. He tipped his head slightly in acknowledgement, his mustache lifting with a restrained smile, and took his seat across from the panel. The view's familiar chatter faded into an expectant hush. Joy Behar leaned forward almost immediately, her smile sharp, eyes alert. She had that look, half amused, half ready. Sam noticed it but said nothing. He folded his hands, posture relaxed yet grounded, the way a man sits when he's learned not to rush into conversations that don't matter. At first, the exchange was polite. Joy asked about his latest project, framing it with a joke that earned a ripple of laughter. Sam responded with a gravelly chuckle, speaking about storytelling, about characters that feel like real folks instead of ideas. The audience nodded along. Everything felt smooth, safe even. Then the conversation drifted. Joy pivoted, as she often did, steering the topic toward culture, politics, and responsibility in Hollywood. "You've been around a long time," she said, tilting her head. "You've seen how things change. Don't you think it's important for artists today to be more vocal, more aligned with the moment?" Sam paused. The silence stretched just long enough to make producers shift in their chairs. "I think," he said slowly, "it's important for artists to be honest with themselves first. The rest tends to sort itself out." Joy's eyebrows lifted. "That sounds nice," she replied, "but sometimes silence is a statement." Sam's jaw tightened, not aggressively, but with purpose. "Sometimes," he answered, "it's just silence." A murmur moved through the audience. One of the co-hosts tried to lighten the mood, cracking a quick joke, but Joy wasn't done. She leaned back, arms crossed loosely, eyes locked on him. "You've played a lot of tough guys," she said. "Men who don't talk much, who don't bend. Do you think that image still helps anyone?" Sam inhaled, visibly steadying himself. "Those men," he said, "weren't about toughness. They were about responsibility. About doing what needed doing without making a spectacle of it." Joy smiled thinly. "But the world's different now." "It always is," Sam replied. The tension thickened. The studio lights seemed hotter. Sam shifted slightly in his seat, not away, but forward, engaged now, grounded like a fence post driven deep into hard earth. Joy pressed on. "Some would say that clinging to old ideas is part of the problem." Sam's eyes narrowed, not in anger, but in focus. "Some would," he agreed. "Others would say that forgetting where you came from is how you lose your footing." A sharp intake of breath rippled through the front rows. This wasn't banter anymore. It was a standoff. Joy laughed, a quick, incredulous sound. "So you're saying progress doesn't matter?" "No," Sam said firmly. "I'm saying progress without reflection isn't progress. It's just movement." One of the producers gestured frantically off camera, signaling for a commercial pivot, but the hosts were locked in. Joy leaned forward again, voice sharper now. "You sound like someone who doesn't want to be challenged." Sam's shoulders squared. "I've been challenged my whole life," he said. "By work, by failure, by time. What I don't need is to be told that my voice only matters if it echoes someone else's." The audience erupted, half applause, half stunned silence. Joy's expression hardened. "This isn't about echoing," she snapped. "It's about accountability." Sam met her gaze, unflinching. "Then let's hold everyone accountable," he said evenly. "Not just the folks who don't fit neatly into today's slogans." The word slogans hung in the air like smoke. Joy shook her head. "You see, that right there, that's dismissive." Sam exhaled slowly, a deep breath that seemed to come from years of restraint. "And what you're doing," he replied, voice low but clear, "is assuming that disagreement equals ignorance." The studio fell silent. For a split second, no one spoke. Cameras kept rolling. Somewhere backstage, a stage manager whispered urgently into a headset. Joy broke the silence, her tone icy. "If you can't engage without taking it personally, maybe this isn't the place for you." Sam looked around the table, then at the audience, then back at Joy. When he spoke, his voice was calm, but final. "I came here to talk about my work," he said. "Not to be lectured about how I'm supposed to think to earn a seat." Joy opened her mouth to respond, but Sam gently raised a hand. "I've spent a lifetime listening," he continued. I'm not afraid of conversation. But I won't sit quietly while my values are reduced to caricatures. He pushed his chair back slightly. The scrape against the floor sounded louder than it should have. The audience gasped. Sam stood, not in anger, not dramatically, but with the quiet resolve of a man who knew exactly where his line was. He nodded once toward the other hosts, offering them a respectful smile, then turned toward Joy. "Thank you for having me," he said. And with that, he took a step away from the table, the tension trailing behind him like an unfinished sentence, leaving the studio suspended in disbelief as the weight of what had just happened settled over everyone watching.